Insolvency. I don't want to exaggerate, but what's happening here in Australia, every single day we have people who are becoming insolvent, whether this insolvency is declared or it's not. So last week, Watersun in Geelong, Watersun Homes. You know that Watersun Homes have got bankrupt? So it was a shock. If you go to the Armstrong Creek and if you have been there in the last 3 weeks, they were okay. Everything was all right. It was only something that happened over the night that they got into administration, voluntary administration. It was a shock for so many people, so many investors, so many people, owners of houses that they have put deposit and they didn't get the project done. Many people lost jobs. Many subcontractors didn't get paid because the collapsed builder is owing money to them. So security of payment is a major concern, a very major concern across Australia. And last year, there was a major report by the Senate that says, "I just want to get paid." This was the title of the report. Imagine, from the federal government, and it has put certain recommendations on how security of payment can be improved in the industry. And they put so many recommendations, but we don't. Until now, nothing happened. But the government has already assigned someone to. His name is John Murray, to review all security of payment laws. And while until now we do have security of payment law, but many people are still getting bankrupt. And in the last year, I'll show you some statistics which are shocking. So every day in the news, you get this. You know what is happening. This is a recent report from the governmental body which is watching the insolvency rates. So look at the construction. We have around 2,000 applications last year. Companies which are getting into administration, which is about insolvency again. So it is a domino effect. If one company is getting bankrupt, especially the big companies, it has a very direct consequences on so many supply chain firms. So many people will get bankrupt. Any party which has a connection with this collapsed firm will get bankrupt, for sure. So compared with all other businesses, now we talk about other business and personal services, that is very scattered. It's not an industry. But talk about retail trades, accommodation of food, manufacturing, wholesale trade, mining. We don't have these problems. We only have these problems here in construction. Why? Why construction is facing this dilemma? So this report has put some causes why this is happening. So these are the top causes. Okay, if you want to investigate this further, what do you think? What would be the cause? Just quickly, what do you think? Causes of failure? Why we get bankrupt? Cash flow, inadequate cash flow. Yes, who said that? Yes, correct, 100%. What else? There is no cash flow. For sure, you cannot pay your dues, and you are getting bankrupt. We have so many things. We have poor strategic management of the business. The company doesn't know how to operate, and you have the inadequate cash flow, as you correctly said, and you have poor financial control, including lack of records. And I work as a claim consultant as one of my current roles, and what I always ask my clients to do is to keep records. If you keep the record, they can easily make up your case, and you can get your entitlement. If you don't have a record, how you will go ahead and substantiate your case? If you are asking for extension of time or variations, and you don't have record which will show when the instruction was given, whether you have served the notice or on time, whether you have provided particulars on time, whether you made delay analysis, you must have a record. Photographs, video clips, minutes of meeting, you must have a record. There are trading losses, like you always tender for loss, and you think that you will be able to get compensation later on by having more claims or variations, but it doesn't help. And the recession that is hitting the country from time to time, or the slowdown and the poor economic conditions where we have so much competition. So these are the 5 major factors contributing to the security of payment problem in construction. But there are some other problems that I'll just put some notes on that. So what is the driver? What are the major drivers? Look, we have so many unethical builders who are always trying to delay the payment of subcontractors, because they aim with that the moment that they start delaying and dragging the payment, this subcontractor will get bankrupt, so they will not be required to repay. So they can get you to the court. They can extinguish all the remedies in court just to make sure that they gain the time with the cash in their hands, and they go and invest with the money which they owe to other people, and they keep getting more profit, and other people are struggling. So it is also a bargaining tool. I know many builders here in Victoria who are trying to have the competitive advantage over many people, and the bargaining power, by saying, okay, I owe you 1 million, but I will not give it to you unless you sign the other contract with the price that I'm looking for. So they try all the time to push other subcontractors and small subbies to agree with some unfair conditions, contract conditions, to go into new projects, and because they are just holding the money. Even if they want to hold the money for another reason, like, okay, we'll hold the money, okay, you can go to court, but if you want, we can give you 500 and we make a settlement. Bargaining tool. We call it bargaining tool. And this is one of the most unethical practices in the industry. So, and those builders who really have financial difficulties are always trying to accommodate the requirements of cash flow by reducing the entitlement of subcontractors. So they always try to have the upper hand and make sure that the subcontractors are not paid because they want to survive and they want to be in the market. Okay, so what's wrong with the security of payment regime? We do have a regime in Victoria, in all the territories and the states. We do have a regime. In Victoria, we have a regime which has been established since 2002, but this regime doesn't work because the regime, first of all, is drafted in a very complex manner. So if I am a subcontractor, I would need a lawyer to help me with the case. I cannot do it on my own. I cannot make a claim. I need someone who knows the law, who knows the case law, because we have so much complications with regard to the interpretation of the clauses. And even when I started to be an adjudicator, I faced so many problems sometimes to interpret the clauses, the sections. I'm not working in Victoria, I'm working in New South Wales. And the legislation is really harsh. Without having a good legal background, you will always suffer. Without being on the top of the case law, and every single week you have a judgment from the Supreme Court regarding this security of payment regime. And many builders don't want to pay. They go to the Supreme Court just to delay the process. And so the whole regime doesn't work, especially when it comes to large and major claims, because the regime was based on the process that we need small subbies to get paid on time. But now we talk about millions and millions on payment claims, and it goes to court all the time, and the legislation is ill-equipped to deal with this. So we have a lot of things. Now, judicial review, so many court cases. In New South Wales, last year we got like 16 court cases where they have quashed the adjudication decision, which is the most important decision for the subcontractor to get paid. So it is only a paper of work that is useless. You spend so much time and effort appointing lawyers, and at the end of the day, this decision was quashed by court because of some poor decision-making process by the adjudicators. So many things are being there, and now the federal government is trying to build a case for improving the security of payment laws. Actually, my PhD itself is about this, and so I made some proposals, and I hope that it will be heard by someone. So it is a major issue, a major dilemma in the industry. So my focus was, I tried to speak about all of that, but my major study was about this. So I came up with a proposal of introducing review mechanisms and tried to link that with the case law.